What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Punchy.tv. And at any point during the show, you can call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we could talk about whatever. You can call in and we can get into whatever you want to get into. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the YouTube description, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button. Send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. And as they come in, the Lord is willing. And the creek is cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. Just a reminder, if you guys want to watch Joel Friday TV on audio or just listen to audio only, right? Just audio only. I am on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all those other platforms as well. It's not live, but if you want to hear the past shows, they're up there. Audio only. If that's more convenient for you, we make it happen. We make it work. Chris with a super chat out the gate sends a bird with a coffee mug like this. Right on, Chris. I appreciate it. Shout out Chris the mod. Chris is a moderator on the JFTV YouTube chat. Shout out Chris. Thank you, Chris, for donation. Appreciate it. Amazing stuff. What's going on, chat? YouTube chat, IG chat, Facebook chat. What's going on, you guys? CG says, I'll follow on Spotify. Right on, CG. Appreciate it. Now, I remember on Instagram, I had nobody watching and nobody in the comment section on Instagram. Now I got folks in there commenting away, supporting the show. It's growing. I appreciate that. Shout out to my IG folks. Community is growing on Instagram. Amazing stuff. Let's get Facebook there as well. And the other places. Shout out Nico in the IG chat. Nick, the anchor baby. Amazing stuff. All right, let's get to it. What we talking about today? Oh, Lord. I got some stuff I want to talk to you guys about. Because right now, you know, Trump is assembling the troops. Trump is assembling the troops. Okay. I want to get into a little bit of that. And then like women in politics. I want to talk about that as well. It's an interesting thing. I got some stuff I want to get into about that. So Trump is assembling the troops right now. He's gathering the folks up. The folks who are going to help him lay down the law, because that's what the country needs. The country desperately right now needs somebody just to step in there and lay down the law. Pull out the belt. That's what the country needs, a good whooping. That's what it needs. And it's going to be done with love. Because Donald Trump is that type of guy. And that's what the world needs right now. But he can't do it by himself. He has to gather the troops. So right now he's picking the troops. And so far, according to different sources online, there are a few of them that he's picked already. A handful of them, right? That the internet is talking about. And I want to address a few of them that I came across that I kind of want to just give a little bit more background on them and tell you my opinion and what I think of them. Because I don't know these people, right? But just my opinion of what I think. And you draw your own conclusion, right? You do your own research, you draw your own conclusion, and then you decide if it's a good pick or not, right? But he's assembling the troops. So first, I want to talk about just a few people that he's picked so far. And the first couple is, let me pull it up here. Let me see. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's coming up right here. Oh, that ain't it. That's me. Hold up. Give me 1 second, guys. Some settings got changed here. So I'm just trying to find the right thing. Somebody grab the engineer for me really quick, Bill or Nick, in the studio, just to set up these pictures. But he's got a few people that he picked. I'm going to get to that right now. So you guys can, so we can talk about it. Bill, Nick, somebody get Bill or Nick. Nice. So I'm trying to figure out I have the media in here. I'm trying to figure out where I can do the pictures.
One, you switch.
Okay, perfect.
And you'll switch through that way as well.
Nice. Thank you. All right. So first couple people here. I got it. Oh, it didn't go.
And then hit this.
Oh, okay. Boom. There we go. So we got Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. So Trump wants to make these guys. This is from ABC News. President-elect Trump. There we go. President-elect Trump has announced that billionaire Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, a former presidential candidate and ally of Trump, will lead what he calls a new Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon and Vivek. And he goes on to say, together these men will pave the way for my administration to dismantle governmental bureaucracy / excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies. Amazing stuff. So if you're slow like me and don't really know what that stuff means, all they're going to really do is watch the government spending. Cut down on the spending and save better, spend better, and watch the money. That's all they're doing. They're just watching the money. And I love that. Let me tell you why. Because these guys are very, 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 very successful businessmen. Donald Trump for one, and Vivek for two. Vivek did did well for himself. Owned a bunch of companies himself, and built a lot of wealth before he even became a politician. So you can look that up and see that for yourself. But Vivek has been very successful businessman, and obviously Elon Musk is more known. But when you have money like that and you're a businessman, you know how to deal with money. You know how to make money. You know how to spend money. You know how to save money. You know how to budget. These people who are rich, then they not only get rich, but they stay rich because they know how to handle money. So I love that because a big reason why a lot of this inflation goes up is due to over government spending, right? One of the reasons, right? Over government spending. So if you have people in there who know business, but very well, right? Elon's one of the richest in the world, if not the richest in the world. Then come on, man. This makes sense. So Vivek and Elon starting a new Department of Government Efficiency. And I'm sure they'll just be helping out. You know what I mean? So that's nice. And I like Vivek. Vivek is cool. I like the way he articulates himself when he's speaking. I like how smart he is. Yeah, he's a real guy. I like Vivek from what I know about him, right? And Elon's based. We know that. We love Elon, even though he be jumping around on stage, but that's just the inner child in him. He just happy. But we love Elon. Very smart guy. But let's move on. This next person here. Tom Homan. We talked about him yesterday. Tom Homan. Look at him. Alpha. No, Tom Homan, if you didn't see it yesterday, we played a clip from a hearing, a court hearing where AOC was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was mad that Mr. Tom Homan was for separating children from their parents at the border who are all illegal immigrants. And Tom was for that because he just wants to stop illegal immigration. And AOC is like, you can't do that. You can't. And she was like, doing her thing. And Tom was like, matter of fact. You know what I mean? He was just like not having it. Like, listen, this is what it needs to be. This is what it is. And he wasn't overreacting. He wasn't yelling. He was just like, hey, this is common sense. And I'm with it. And you ain't going to intimidate me with you being a woman or you getting loud. You're not going to intimidate me. And I love that. Manly stuff. So Tom Homan is going to be the new border czar picked by Trump. And a little bit about Tom Homan, just so you guys, don't think I'm just making stuff up here. This is from Wikipedia. Tom Homan is a former police officer, an immigration official, and political commentator who served during the Obama administration and will have served in both Trump administrations. He served as acting director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, from January 2017 to 2018. He advocates for the deportation of illegal immigrants and opposes sanctuary city policies. Within the Trump administration, he was among the most strident proponents of separating children from their parents as a means of deterring illegal entry into the country and curbing human trafficking. Based. I don't know much about Tom, but I just love his toughness on that kind of stuff. Because I know how people will think like, oh, that's so mean. They're separating the children from the family. That's so mean. It's not about that. It just makes you think twice about what you're going to do. It makes you think twice about your actions. Right? It makes you think twice. And you need it to be like that. It's like when dad is home and you're thinking about acting up, you're the son or the daughter of the child, and you think about grabbing the cookies out the jar when you know dad said no more cookies. And dad's home from work and you're thinking about them cookies. But you know dad said no. And you know what happened last time you ate the cookie after dad said no. So then you're like, you know what? Dang. I'm probably not going to go get me no cookies today. Dang. I'll wait for him to go back to work. And I'll ask mom. It just make you second think. So I love how tough he's been on that issue. Amazing stuff. And then moving on, who else we got here? And then we got Christi Noem, and she's gonna be in the running the Department of Homeland Security, which is the agency primarily responsible for immigration enforcement and border security. So she's gonna be running that. Now, I'm not big on women having these in politics like that. That's not really what I like to see. I feel like men have a role, women have a role, and I don't necessarily think that it's best if a woman's there. I'm not saying it's entirely wrong. I'm just saying if I had to choose between a man or a woman in any of the positions in politics or just in prominent positions in the world, I would always choose a man. And there's reasons behind that. We're going to get into that. But one of the things that I find that why it's a little bit harder is that it's hard to kind of trust a woman doing a man's job. It's a little bit harder to trust a woman who's doing the man's job, right? The tough stuff. Reason why is because women tend to be more okay with muddying the waters of the truth, right? They'll lie a little bit or they'll let things go or they're more wishy-washy with the truth. And I realize part of the reason why, without getting extra deep into it, because we're going to get into it, is that, men are honest and they take pride in their honesty. Most men, right? Real men. Because there's like an honor there. There's something about honor and pride that men have that make them proud to be honorable and do the right thing and be tough and be strong. And it's in men naturally to do things that bring honor to themselves or to what's right. But women don't necessarily have that desire within them, right? They will be if they see examples like their fathers or their husbands or good men in the world that are honorable and do the right thing. Then yeah, they can learn to be like that. But it's not like in the DNA to just be proud, right? And I'm not talking about ego proud. I'm talking about proud to be a man, an honest man. There's something about that in men that makes them able to handle these type of things because it's just a different type of strength that comes from them. So it's just hard to get behind women in these positions because you want to root for the man, right? But with that being said, she's there. And I want to give you guys a little bit of background about her, right? Because it's nothing against her. That's just my opinion about women in general in these positions. But let's talk a little bit about her, give you a little bit of background on who she is. And I watched a little bit of her stuff, did a little dig and research, and she has a nice little vibe. She has a cool vibe. But this from Wikipedia. Christi Noem was born to Ron and Corinne Arnold in South Dakota and was raised with her siblings and their family on a ranch and a farm in the country. So I like that, right? That's always a good sign. When they're raised on the farm and in the country, they know what really matters for the most part, right? They know a little bit about work ethic. family, moral values. So I like that. In 1990, Noem graduated from Hamlin High School and was crowned South Dakota Snow Queen, whatever that is. Her father was killed in a farm machinery accident in 1994, so she was in her early 20s when her father died. And according to ABC News, this is what Christi said about losing her father. She said, when Dad passed away, it was devastating for our entire family. He was my best friend. He was the person I admired the most. And one thing I cared about most was what he thought of me. And I had planned my entire life just to grow up to work with him and be in business with him. So she had a lot of respect for her father, which is another good sign. She had a lot of respect from her father. She grew up with her father and mother in the home on a farm. And she respected him. She loved her father. And that's a good sign. Those are good signs. If there's going to be a lady in there, we prefer her to have some decency. So she loved her father. That's another sign. Good sign there. And Trump has some things to say about her as well that I found that I think that are good to bring up. Is this from Washington State Standard? And Christi has been very strong on board. This is what Trump is saying. Christi has been very strong on border security. She will work closely with border czar Tom Homan to secure the border and will guarantee that our American homeland is secure from our adversaries. I have known Christi for years and have worked with her on a wide variety of projects. She will be a great part of our mission to make America safe again. So what I like about that is she's working with Tom. She'll be working directly with Tom. So she'll be working with another man. And it's not like she's just totally independent. Not that she couldn't handle it, but like I said, I prefer a man to do that type of job, these type of jobs. But she'll be working with Tom. Right? So she under Trump's watch and she's under Tom's watch. So I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it. So that's Christi. I also watched a couple videos from her. I like she has a nice vibe, meaning like she's not like the average liberal type woman or overly emotional, at least in the public. She seems pretty calm. She also said that she used to go hunting a lot. And so, you know, she seems pretty, for the most part, as grounded as she can be. But like I said, I only know so much about her, but we'll see what happens. We'll see. But I can dig it. There's also some more pics that were there, more Trump pics that I didn't grab. Some other women that were in that were in there as well, other men that I didn't look too much into. But I just wanted to give a little bit of background because it's looking good. To me, it's looking good. Obviously, maybe not everybody's going to be the best pick, and Trump learns that on the way. But I don't know. I think it's looking good in the sense of like Trump he has his eye on what needs to be done. And he's picking people that he sees accordingly with what he wants to get done. And so far, I like it. So they seem like tough people. They have a good background on what they've done so far, track record. So we'll see what happens. Before I get to some calls, though, I do want to talk about women in politics a little bit. I want to talk about women in politics a little bit. Because David Morgan with the super chat says, good job. Appreciate it, David. David is, in my mind, he's a country singer. He's got a country singer named David Morgan. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Super chat, shout out to David. But I think it's looking good. But women in politics, really quick, and I'll get to the calls, is I'm going to tell you why it doesn't bother me. I don't care, right? Do what you want. There's a lot of weak men, and there's a lot of women who make better decisions than a lot of weak men that are in politics or just in general. So I'm not saying that it's wrong in every single case and that women can't have an opinion, and I'm not saying that. But I just want to talk about a little bit about what I believe by design, why things are set up in certain ways. And to me, politics, when I think about politics, from my perspective, it's just like, it can be dirty, combative. It can be like confrontational, like that kind of stuff, right? And these type of things are more on the darker side of life, right? These are like the darker elements of life, right? War, all these things are not necessarily wrong to be confrontational or to be combative or war and all this stuff, right? These things aren't necessarily wrong. We've seen them in the Bible. We've heard stories about. It's not necessarily wrong, but these are the darker elements of life, on the darker side of life. And in order to properly go about these things, you need somebody who is of the light, who can be in charge of going about these darker sides of life, these darker elements of life, right? You want somebody who is of the light and who is strong and grounded in the light, who can handle these dark sides of life, because that dark side, if you're not careful, can consume you, right? You can get caught up in it. You caught up in the confrontation, caught up in the messiness, caught up in the whole thing, the back and forth, the debate, and it can change you. So people have to be of sound mind, sound spirit to be able to handle this dark side of life. Typically, by design, men are created that way. Men are created to be able to handle these type of things, the darker side of life. Meaning that they're able to be the calm, enter the storm, but still be the calm in it, right? Not be consumed by the storm. They're more likely to do that at a higher level than women are. Not that women can't do that, but in politics, they shouldn't, in my opinion. Because it's in men to be able to be grounded and see clear, right? They're less driven by their emotions. They're less affected by their emotions. They're more grounded in the light and logic and clarity. So when things get crazy, they're able to operate still and still see clear. And then also, and I'm almost done here, is that when you get into the ring, it also leaves these battle scars on you, right? When men used to go out and hunt and do all these things, hunt and gather and debate, go to war, fight, all these things that they had to do back then, it would leave like these battle scars. And not necessarily actual scars, but you could see it on their face that they've been through some stuff, right? They got the battle scars on their face, right? They look a little bit more tougher, right? More serious, more like, you know what I mean? Like they've been to war, like they've seen some stuff. And those battle scars look attractive on the man, right? It looks attractive on him. It makes him look more manly, more tough, more masculine. But I just noticed that when the women take on these positions, it does that very same thing to them. You could see it on their face. Those battle scars, you could see it on their face, and it doesn't look as attractive on the women. Their face starts to drag a little bit. The eyes get dark. The voice gets a little deeper. The skin starts to change. The wrinkles start to show. All those things look attractive on a man, but it doesn't look attractive on the woman. Because it's not in her nature. It's not in her design to be able to handle that. Because it's not her way. So that's as far as the battle scars. But also when it comes to these dark sides of life, typically when women go into the storm, they get consumed by the storm, right? Because their emotions take over, right? Their emotions take over. So when they get consumed by the storm, they become the storm, right? But if it goes too far, their light goes out. So now they are the storm, causing storm on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Causing storm on everybody. And now they're the damage. Now they're the damage. We see that in the world. So these areas of life, these darker elements of life, are meant for the man to handle. So that way he handles it, he overcomes it, and he can go back home and take it off. He can handle that. He's built for that. He's designed for that. That's easy for him. That's easy work for him. Right? Men love to get dirty. Men love to be confrontational. Men love to dominate. Men love to be masculine. It's natural. It's natural, right? But when a woman does it, it affects her. So it's just something to think about, you know, and I see a lot of women getting into politics and all that stuff. And sometimes it's for the thrill. And I think that ladies should watch that. You know what I mean? Because, it's not always an attractive thing. I'm not saying ladies can't follow along with politics or like be aware of what's going on in the world, but you don't want to get too much into that stuff because it starts affecting how you feel. You start judging, then you start feeling a certain way, and now you're getting mad because you're evolving yourself with elements that are not for you to worry about. Like Hake says, don't worry your pretty little head. Let the man deal with it. You just come in there and peek around, like, oh, that's going on. Oh, okay. Then back up. Back off. Don't try to get involved now. Well, let me go. We need you over here, ladies. We need you over here. You got a job over here that is needed. We need you to stay over here. Okay. Be beautiful, be great, be womanly, and be all those things that a man is in his world. You be that in your world, please. Because you're in the way over here. We're trying to get stuff done. You in the way. You know what I mean? We got to save the country. Yeah, come on. And it ain't a put down thing. It ain't nothing. It's just reality. So I love that, Donald Trump is trying to get tough people in there. Like I said, I'm not necessarily agree with the Christie thing, but that's his choice. We just got to take what it is and deal with it. But Trump is a tough guy, and I think that he'll be able to deal with the situation, and we'll see what happens. We shall see. Amazing stuff. Terry Strange says Joel never met a man that he describes. That's the problem. You might be right. That's the problem. Why haven't I? You know what I'm saying? We all jacked up now. We all jacked up. But at least we're starting to see it. You know what I mean? And that's the first step. Right? That's the first step of us overcoming and being a real man. And if it takes us 80 years, then guess what? We turn 80, we have a child, and the child can grow up and do it right. You know what I mean? Be an alpha male. And change the world around. That's where it's at. Anyway, let's get to the calls. I'm done talking. I'm done. Let's get to the calls. Let me go to Liesel out of California. Liesel, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Oh, is this Joel?
Yes. How are you, Liesel?
I don't know. Joel, today is like a slow day. My aunt has a Filipino store, so I told Derek, I said, can I talk to Hake? And then Hake is like a political show, so
yeah,
I just kind of hesitate. But with you, Joel, I could relate.
Nice.
Are you talking about women in like politics?
Yeah.
My son and I were talking yesterday, Joel. Joel, thanks for being so warm. I was telling Derek how warm his voice is. I guess it's like the black men, they have warm voices.
Nice.
And it's like, I feel like with Jesse, I feel comfortable calling you guys.
Right.
My dad's half, so it's like I told Derek, I like calling you. I said, anyway, Joel, about women.
Appreciate
okay.
It. Yeah.
You know what? I was telling my son, I said, who's that white lady that they called the ICE? What did they call her? The Trump lady that he hired to do what, Joel?
Christi Noem?
Was it the ICE queen or the old lady, the older one? You know what I'm talking about? Check it out later, Joel. It's like a silver-haired lady. Anyway, Joel, I'm from a military family. Okay, my dad was in the Air Force. I was in the Navy. My ex-husband was in the Navy. Then he turned when 9/11 happened. He turned and he joined the Army because he wanted to fight. So he served both branches. And then my son, he got all mad, so he joined the Navy, and he was a submariner. So I come from that kind of family. Women, Joel, they shouldn't be in those kind of positions. And like you were talking about, we belong like in the kitchen. I'm comfortable. Joel, when I was in the Navy, it was hard work.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, Joel. And the men back in the 80s, they were so kind and gracious to look at us, like to give us a chance to see if we could perform. Yeah. I remember line handling for a Coast Guard cutter, and the whole crew, back then, Joel, Coast Guard were the good-looking men. And my first job, I was in Cuba. I was line handling with the dockmaster on the pier. I just want to tell you a weird story.
Yeah.
So so they threw the lines, and then, it looked like it was easy because we call those monkey lines. Back in the day, they were called monkey lines. I guess they're improved now. They can shoot the line with some kind of a gun. They can shoot the line to the pier. So they threw the lines, and I was heaving. Little did I know, Joel, that those lines got thicker and thicker and thicker. I'm just 5 foot tall.
Mm.
Well, the whole crew of the Coast Guard cutter, all these good-looking men were laughing at me because I couldn't do the lines.
Yeah.
So I was telling my son, we don't belong. And then when I was in an accident. I had light duty for a few months before I was transferred to another base. Joel, I was so comfortable in the office. I had office work, clerical work. I was so comfortable. So when you mentioned that, Joel, could you keep preaching that, you and Jesse?
Nice.
We don't belong. Joel, there's a lady that she's like the CEO. She's a commanding officer of like a battleship. I forget which one. Like a frumpy older lady. It's not peanut butter and jelly, Joel. It doesn't mix. Joel,
Right.
the big battleship, a huge ship, and she's in charge?
I know.
Telling my son, how's that? And then I was telling him, I said, excuse me, I said, even on submarines, because he's out, he served his time. He said, Mom, we didn't have one. I said, yes, because I looked at a YouTube video last night. There's like one, she's like some kind of a security officer. What is she doing on the submarine?
Right.
She has no business. Joel, could you and Jesse please keep preaching it? Because I feel like the military's gone down. When I went in, you had to have a certain weight. You couldn't be over a certain weight when you enlisted. I looked at YouTube channels last night with the newer boot camp videos. Joel, the drill sergeants are fat. And so are the enlisted. When I was doing push-ups, I used to get yelled at all the time in boot camp because I couldn't, go all the way down on a push-up. So I had to really work on that. Well, I was looking at the video last night. They let the fatter girls.
They let them do it. They don't even let them. They don't even enforce it. They don't even make them have to be tough. They lower the standards and everything.
Please keep talking about that, Joel, because it's ugly.
Well, Liesl, let me ask you really quick. Let me pick your brain really quick, and then I got to move the calls here. Couple questions. The first question is, when you were in the military then, did you know then that you didn't belong in there, or was that something you learned later?
Yes, because I moved to Kansas. My aunt was sick. So she said, Liesl, you need to just go into the Air Force, do something, because I have cancer. I'm sick.
Okay.
So I tried the Air Force. Joel, no. And the women that I was with, Joel, no.
So you knew then.
All the engine men, the women engine men, when the boats broke down, they thought they could go in the villages and fix the boat. They could not.
Yeah.
So Joel, could you keep preaching? Joel, I just was wondering about your tattoo. Is that like a cat?
It's a Black Panther. It's a Black Panther.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joel, I'm going to call you again because I'm comfortable talking. But thanks for preaching that, Joel, because we have no business in the military. No.
Right on, Liesl. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Call me again. All right. I wanted to ask her one more thing, but that's okay. Maybe she has to go. But she said in the military then, she even knew. Everybody knows. Listen, everybody knows, okay? Deep down, everybody knows that where they belong and where they don't belong. Now, they may believe into the lie, and the lie is more convincing and it serves them better, right? To do these things, whether it be money that's involved, whether it be power, whether it be respect, whatever it is, that may serve them more. But the women know that they can't do the man's job better than the man. They know this. And just like she said, Liesl said, she knew back then, even back then, she couldn't do certain things. And they would laugh at her. But you can't laugh at the girls now. In the military, please, you get laughed at, you canceled. You can't laugh at the ladies for not being strong now. You gotta tell them that they're strong. You gotta lie. You strong. You did 10 push-ups, even though I just seen you do 1. But you did 10. That's what it's like now. It's backwards. But people know. And I also want to ask Liesl, why did she think that women they want to do this? Why do women want to be in these positions that don't fit them? Why do they want to? And it's the same reason why I'm seeing girls really into sports now. And I'm not saying it's wrong, right? But it's just so new. You know what I mean? Even me being young, I didn't always see girls into sports like that. Girls never cared about sports. Girls weren't interested in the sports. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's wrong. Don't do it. It's evil. I'm not saying it's evil. But I'm just saying that girls weren't into that, right? I'm just wondering, why are girls more into the boy stuff now? Sports and military and guns and fighting, the UFC is a bunch of UFC women. Like, when and why are these things happening? Is what I'm wondering. So that's how I got to say about that. Let me keep the calls moving. Harmony says, sue me. Harmony might be into sports. Hey, I'm not saying judge yourself and stop doing it. I'm just saying just wonder. Like, okay, well, I wonder why. You know what I mean? Just question the thing. And people will say, well, Joel, why are you into dance? Why are you into skating? Good question. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying, just question these things. Well, why am I? I'm just saying, just question. Let me go to William out of California. William, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How's it going, William?
The other day, the look on your face when I got off the phone about when the medicine cabinet closed.
Oh, yeah. I imagined it. I imagined the whole scene going down, and I was cracking up.
Your subject, like the lady just got off the phone, I'm just saying, there are some exceptions that women can do some things. Like, I think they have them arming bombs, screwing the tips on it. They have some jobs that they can do, and there's one or two pilots. There are a couple of pilots, but as you know, these jobs are very physical. Yeah. And there's just no way that they can turn a torque wrench as easy as a man. Yeah. And you know what I mean? It's like, if you know what a torque wrench is, it's like you got a wrench that tightens bolts, and then you have a torque wrench. And you got to have some arm strength to do that. And so, it's like when you torque it, you hear the click, click. That's it's kind of physical. And like the Christi Noem, okay, she's an exception because I can say she's an exception because she's a farm girl and she's from a great state like South Dakota, and she's probably got a lot of different ethics than like somebody in town. Right. And she's probably got different values and everything. I've watched her a little bit there, but I'll trust that pick because it was Trump that picked her. So you have to realize men are giving you these rights. Right. And as long as it's not a DEI hire. Right. I don't like Yeah, and I want to ask you too, William, is why do you think that these women in these positions, I'm talking about the women who take on these manly positions, why do you think that they want to do that? I'm not sure because I'm with you on how girls were when I grew up. As far as they would take it, it's on sports level, track and field, and volleyball. And they would probably stop there, maybe some basketball, but they would pretty much stop there. Now they're getting into boxing and UFC, and it's getting a little out of hand. Yeah. And some of these manly positions that they've taken, being the mayor of a major city, some of these things, I don't think that they're built for it. They're pretty hurt with this Kamala thing, Yeah. As you know, they'll call into the show and act like they're not hurt about it. But, well, I'm happy. I'm great. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because if you voted for her, you know you're mad. Because I don't think that's a job for them. And they've proven it with how they've ran the cities, how they've raised their children. Yeah. And they have this thing about being butthurt about abortion when your body is built to have a baby. Yeah. You don't have to brag to me that you had kids because you're supposed to have them. Yeah. And if you don't want them, then just don't have them. Don't be
don't be wild when you shouldn't be wild.
Well,
Don't be
well,
irresponsible.
Let's think about the people who are actually raising hell about that subject.
Yeah.
They're not able to have children anymore.
Oh, so you think a big part of it is the ones who are bitter or the ones who can't actually have the
bitter, done had one or two already, remarried. A lot of the women that are complaining about it, you got one group, just the younger ones that are going crazy about it because it's like, how dare you not let me have unprotected sex and then be able to kill my baby. But then they don't understand that baby, you deliver the baby. That's not, they always say my baby, don't they?
Yeah.
You know whose baby that is?
That's God's baby.
That's the man's baby.
Yeah, I get your point.
You're killing his baby, you know, and you want to have unprotected sex.
And they don't give him the choice. He doesn't even have a choice.
Don't even ask him nothing.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
They're trying to hold on to this little bit of power. I heard you yesterday there was a term made, what is it? Friend mate? What is that?
Right.
What is a friend mate? And I like the way you responded to it. No.
Yeah.
No, friend mate.
Yeah.
We do this my way because we do anything your way.
Helpmate. Helpmate. Oh, you're talking about referring to Maze's call. Yeah.
No. You have to have a weak man to accept that.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, you don't. And then they take these terms wrong. You were not saying make a woman a slave or obey. No, that's not what you were saying. And I'm going to tell you, quite frankly, most of them actually know that. That's not what you're saying when you say obey. When you say obey, you're talking about a godly way.
Yeah. And exactly. And oftentimes they don't like it is because maybe they're not it. Maybe they don't know how to be it, or they see in themselves that they're struggling with being that, or they don't like the fact that they should follow, whatever it may be.
Well, with all due respect, who makes the more sound decisions?
Right.
I mean, I like his picks that he's got. Christie's good. Elon Musk, he's good. He's good. Vivek is good. As long as these are not DEI hires, right. I'm just hiring because it's a woman. I'm just hiring because they're black. As long as he doesn't pick somebody that way, that I think they're going to be okay because she's getting, you know, she's been. If he picked her, you can tell she's been well vetted.
Yeah. It's a good point. Good points, William. I'm running out. I'm way out of time, but I appreciate it, man. And thank you.
The medicine cabinet door is closing, and I'm right there.
Right. I appreciate it, William. Call me again, man. That's hilarious. One point that I wanted to make is about the women working. I lost the point. Oh, is that it's not to say, that's why I said that I'm not saying that it's wrong that women work, that women are into sports, that women like politics, that I'm not saying that these things are wrong by nature. What I'm really trying to say is that common sense will lead a woman, all people, but common sense will lead a woman to know where to draw the line, right? When to know that I'm going too far with this, right? When to know that there's something deeper here. And that's the problem is when women are losing that common sense, right? Because when they lose it, they get sucked into this thing. The next thing you know, they're running for president, right? And that's the issue, is that the line was never drawn. There was never no line. They didn't even see the line, right? They were distracted, or they were caught up here, or they're in their feelings or whatever, and they missed the line that keeps them in their womanly nature, right? Because there's things that a woman can do. She can still work, right? she could still, be what she needs to be and be helpful and help other people and be of service to whatever, right? It's not mean like she just has to only be in the kitchen. Yeah, that's nice. But, that's not like that's the only thing. But they don't know oftentimes today, women don't know when they're crossing that line, and then they end up getting consumed by these things and identifying with these things and using it against people. And that's the problem. That's when we're like, hold up, what's going on here? So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm looking at the calls here. I'm so out of time though. I have to end callers. I'm sorry, Maze and Rick and the others. I know you guys wanted to get in there, but it's just a little bit late and I have to end. Maze was ready to come for me. I can already tell. I summoned Maze. But I still appreciate the call. I got to end, though. Thank you guys to the super chats. Oh, let me just make sure I got all the super chats. That's important. Let me see here. Let me see here from Easier Done Than Said by the Donut. Appreciate it, Easier Done. I just forgave my mother. I was shaking in my boots. I've been waiting to see her and do it. I've been waiting to see her and do it. There should be a comma there or something, a period. My tongue had been falling, cut up far the past 2 days. I need some grammar in here because I'm already black and I'm already slow. I've been waiting to see her and do it. My tongue had been falling out for the past 2 days. My tongue stopped hurting. Amazing. My tongue had been feeling cut up for the past 2 days. Okay. My tongue has been feeling cut up for the past 2 days. My tongue stopped hurting. Why is your tongue feeling cut up? Because you were talking too much or something? I don't know what exactly you mean, Easier Done, but right on that you went and did it. You know what I mean? Can't go wrong with a little bit of forgiveness. So shout out Easier Said or Easier Done Than Said for going in and forgive and shaking in your boots, but yet still doing it. Amazing stuff. And keep watching the thoughts and keep learning and growing. Keep watching yourself. That's all you can do. But right on, Easier Done Than Said, I appreciate that. I think I got all the YouTube ones. I just want to be sure. Before I leave, let me just check. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some donuts in it. Let me see. Supers. I think we got them. Oh, Ryan Moon. I think I read this one, but he said, we need JLP's The Wall Going Up song meme with Tom. That's right. Wall Going Up song. And in relation to Tom Homan with the strong arm. Strong arm Tom. That's what Trump's going to start calling him. Strong arm Tom. Tom in there about to hold it down. We hope, right? Right on, Ryan. I appreciate it. Amazing stuff. I gotta end. Shout out to the calls and the super chats. I'm gonna read a couple comments here. What the? Joel, give Maze 5 minutes. No, I can't. You can't give Maze 5 minutes because it's gonna take you 15 minutes to understand what she's saying in the first place because she's so fast. So it takes a little minute to comprehend, at least for me. So I need more than 5 minutes with Maze. But Maze cool. Amazing stuff. I'm just reading a couple comments here and then I'm going to end. Whatever. Terry went. Oh. You guys ain't saying nothing, much or nothing. But I appreciate it. I got to end, y'all. Bye. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back here tomorrow for another episode. Tomorrow's my last day of the week. Thursday is my Friday. So make sure you guys tune in. Tell your peoples to tune in because that's my last day of the week until the weekend. And I'm back here on Monday. So tomorrow's my last day. Joel Friday TV across the board. American Anchor Baby coming in at 4 p.m. Punchy TV new episode releasing on Monday at 2 p.m. Listen, full day shows. Who needs cable when you got Punchy TV? All right, guys, I got to go. Until next time, I'll see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow, if the Lord is willing. Bye. What the? That's a sign that says don't go.